following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello, and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show, brought to you by Hoop Ball. My name is Adrian Benjamins. I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. Neil, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. That's holiday week upon us, or long weekend coming up. Excited to do some travel and just kind of veg and not feel guilty about it. I love holidays. So how are you, man?
Doing good. Where are you jet setting to
I'm
this
jet
week?
setting to the great state of West Virginia, where I grew up, and I'll be there from Tuesday through Sunday, and we're gonna still just do the shows during the week. But I'll just be chilling. I love going back there. It's just so relaxing and so comfortable. A nice big home.
Has it gotten cold there?
There, yes. There, it's probably like in the 40s. It's not a cold, but Chicago. We've had a couple really cold days. Now it's kind of moderate. It's not too bad here.
Wow.
How are you feeling? How are you doing with the fires?
Fires are pretty scary, man, and it is one of the worst fires that we've had ever. And some of the spots that I love to camp at, there's a place called Leo Carrillo, like up in Malibu. It burned down, man. A lot of people lost their homes, and it sucks, man. It's just awful. And let's just hope that let's just hope everyone can get back to normal, and like everything can get back to how it was. It sucks, man. I hate the fires. There's just like so much stuff going on right now. It's tough.
Yeah, it's so sad. I mean, there's I just know from the news coverage, so much devastation, so much just loss of life and property and people's, livelihoods. It's crazy. I can't relate. So hopefully, like you said, some people can recuperate. But we're here not to talk about bad things, I guess. We should maybe move on to something a little more positive. Fantasy basketball. How you doing? How you doing in your leagues this week?
Things are kind of turning around for me. I'm getting a big win in the Hoop Ball Staff League against the second place team. I'm currently, I think, in 7th place, so looking forward to move up. And my team's starting to turn around there, Neil. And then in my home league, I was like down at the bottom of the table, which I'm not used to, man. I jumped up to the middle of the table. I think I'm in 6th place out of 14 teams, and I'm looking to start making a run up to the top. Neil, I made a big trade in my home league, and I want to get your thoughts on it. So it's a 14-team roto league. I'm like in the middle of the pack in games played, and I'm in 1st place in blocks. So I moved to Jared Allen today for Luka Doncic, and this is a team where I need help in assists and some of the stats that Luka could help provide. So what do you think of that deal, man? Do you think I did okay?
Yeah, I think you did great. It's just 9 cat or 8 cat or something else.
This is 8 cat, which definitely Luka is a little better there because I don't have to deal with turnovers.
Right.
And like I said, man, the center position and the blocks everybody is clamoring for blocks and centers, and people do not want to part with them. This is a team. I got Clint Capella. I got Jaren Jackson Jr. I got a lot of guys that help provide with blocks and rebounds. So I could afford to move Jared Allen. And I'm pretty happy to land Luka, man. I think he's looked pretty good.
I'm looking at the rankings. You did phenomenal. Not only that, though, Jaren Jackson's blocks will increase as the year goes on. He's struggling with foul trouble right now, and just working his way into the NBA system. I know there will be a wall at some point. They talk about the rookie wall, but I think in terms of his ability to be more, I guess, heady on the court and get more positional blocks, I think you're fine. That's a great move. I wish I could do that.
Yeah. I'm ecstatic about it, and I'm starting to slowly start moving up my way up the standings. So, Neil, we're going into week 6 of a 25-week season. So plenty of time, you guys, to turn your seasons around. We're just finally finding our groove, man. So plenty of season to go. All right, man. Should we dive in? We got I think a 5-game slate tonight.
I just want to
should
talk
we
about
dive into it?
a couple injuries if you want.
Yeah, let's do it. What do you got?
Well, first of all, tonight Howard got injured. I don't know how many people out there are Dwight Howard fans or Dwight Howard owners. He's someone I stay away from because his free throw percentage is so bad. I guess if you are in a head-to-head format where you can punt that, I can see having him. It's unfortunate. He was having a decent year and he was helping this team, and now it looks like he sat out in the he got injured in the first quarter, had trouble even starting the game, but it's not certain what his status is going to be moving forward. So we'll have to watch that. I don't know if you have any thoughts on Dwight Howard or this injury.
Well, he started the season, I believe it was a butt injury, Neil. I know that sounds crazy, but I believe he missed a good chunk of the start of the season due to a butt injury. So I'm tending to think here that he's going to likely miss some time. I don't really know the details and the severity of the injury he currently has, but I'm kind of curious, Neil, who could benefit here. The Wizards are a little thin up front. They don't really have a quality backup big. So, we saw Kelly Oubre have a nice line. And in the absence of Dwight Howard, maybe Markieff Morris can step up and kind of fill a void up front. I'm hoping Otto Porter Jr., a guy who's kind of gotten off to a rocky start, maybe because this can help him as well. So let's keep a close eye on what happens here in the next game or so. But I think Kelly Oubre is available in a lot of leagues. And Neil, I play in a lot of deep leagues. I'm gonna maybe make a speculative ad on him if I can. If not, I for sure have him on my watch list. What do you think about it, Neil?
Yeah, I would tend to lean a little more towards Markieff Morris. I know he's dropped down to 159 in ACAT and on a per game basis, and he's only averaging 4 rebounds a game. That could increase if Howard's out for an extended period of time, along with his shot attempts, just 8 field goal attempts. I think that could increase as well. So I might stream him in maybe a 12-team or 14-team format if he's out there. I think he's been dropped in some of the leagues I play in, so he might be available. But like you said, this is probably one of those situations where they don't have I think Jan Mahimi is going to start, but he's not worth really owning. You can try to stream him, but you might be disappointed. I just think other guys take up the usage. Like you said, Oubre will probably get more shots. Jeff Green might even get more shots. Markieff Morris and the like. Hopefully this will help Otto Porter. He's kind of had a down year as well. Yeah, the other injury I saw that it kind of affected me in terms of one of my roster spots is Elfrid Payton. I don't know if you saw that. He broke his finger. He's going to have surgery. He's out. I dropped him. I was holding on to him in a league, and I just went ahead and dropped him. He's not really great anyway to begin with. He has stat set issues in terms of percentages and not many points in that and not on that team right now. So I just dropped him, and I picked up Juancho out in Denver to see how that works out. I'm all about the big upside, just trying to jump on someone and see what happens. So I don't think Payton, I guess if you still want to hold on to him, he might be worth owning in 12-team leagues. I don't know. Do you have thoughts on Elfrid Payton at all? Are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay with making the drop in standard leagues. I completely feel you. Neil, you were hanging on to him. I believe he missed quite a few games here. You finally get him back, and now he goes down. This sounds like it could be an extended absence as well. So definitely don't blame you. And, one of the things that we kind of have an advantage here on is we've seen what the Pelicans look like when Elfrid Payton is out of the lineup, right? So Drew Holiday's the guy. Etuan Moore is going to score the ball. So, it's not too much. It's not like we can go and run and grab a guy with this news because we kind of know who they are. But I love the Hernan Gomez pickup. He's put up 2 really good games, and I think he could step into that power forward spot or that forward spot for the Nuggets and likely have a good role. So he's finally looking good. So he's definitely worth an ad, a speculative ad. Yeah, do you got any other thoughts on it?
No other thoughts on that. Just, some updates. Westbrook is still out for a while, or at least out for personal reasons. We'll see when he comes back. Paul George has been dominating in his absence, as expected. No other major injury news or notes. I think that's it. Have you seen anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I got one more for you. Kyle Lowry left Saturday's game with a right ankle injury in the third quarter. Now, Coach Nick Nurse is saying he doesn't think it's anything serious. We know in seasons past, Kyle Lowry has issues with injury. It was Fred VanVleet stepped up and had a really solid game. So he might be a guy to pick up. But that team is loaded, man. So I'm expecting the usage to be spread across all around. I'm really hoping he's not going to miss too much time. Sounds like he'll be reevaluated, if not today, if he wasn't today, tomorrow, and we'll get an idea of if he's going to miss any time. Do you got any thoughts on Kyle Lowry?
Yeah, I think just hopefully it's all okay. I mean, it was a blowout win, so maybe it was precautionary. And VanVleet, again, he had a great night, but it was against my Chicago Bulls, so not known for their defense this year. So I would take it with a grain of salt. Although my guy Pascal Siakam looks really good. I love that guy. I don't know if you've been able to watch him play. He's my new favorite player.
Yeah,
partly because I have him in my home league. So
he looks great, man. I completely missed the train on Siakam this season, and I wish that I was higher on him, man, because he looks so good out there. It's awesome. It's awesome.
All right, should we get to these games?
Let's do it, man. Should we start with the Grizzlies and the Timberwolves? That's the first game I got up.
Yeah. Do you want to start us off, or you want me to do it?
It's up to you.
All right, I'll do it. This is a game I have a lot of issues about. Memphis 100, Minnesota 87. I'll get into my grievances later. I'll start off with the Memphis line, though. Start off with your guy, Jaren Jackson Jr. Only played 19 minutes, had some foul trouble issues, I believe, early, and sat a bit. Just played 19 minutes, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 6 of 10 shooting, though, a 3-pointer, 3 blocks. Gotta love that. Marc Gasol had the highlight of the night for this team, 36 minutes, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists, 8 of 13, including 4 3-pointers, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. He's looking as good as ever. Mike Conley played 35 minutes, 18 points, a single rebound, 8 assists, 6 of 6 from the line, 2 3-pointers. Kyle Anderson had a Kyle Anderson type night. I think this guy's going to be just okay. In 31 minutes, just 4 points. So if you need points, he's not going to get them for you. But he will get 3 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, a block. Who else started here? Oh, Garrett Temple in 33 minutes, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Not really fantasy worthy, 2 steals. Off the bench, Shelvin Mack, 12, 1 and 2 with 2 3-pointers and a steal. JaMychal Green, though, getting some run. He's back in there, 8 and 8 with an assist and a steal and 2 blocks. Marshawn Brooks played 12 minutes. Caspi got 11 minutes, and Selden Jr. 10. I don't have any issues with the Memphis side. My gripe is with Minnesota, so I can go over there later. But I will say that maybe Jaren Jackson's minutes slip a little bit with a healthy JaMychal Green, but I still think he's going to get upwards of high 20 minutes at the minimum, unless he's in foul trouble like tonight. Kyle Anderson, his plus minus, I think the last few games have been just fine. He was plus 11 tonight. I think he's going to be a staple of this team, and he's going to do his thing the rest of the season. Not many points, but I think you can trust him in the other categories, and he should finish this season inside the top 100. Let's look and see. Let me just double check and see where he is so far. I should have changed this earlier. He is at 168. I think that's going to come up pretty quickly if he continues to get this many minutes. What are your thoughts on Memphis?
I love the Kyle Anderson take. I'm seeing him currently at 179 in 9-cat leagues, but got off to a really slow start to the beginning of the season. I think he's going to get stronger as the season goes on. We're already seeing it. as you said, the points aren't quite there. Only took 4 shots in 31 minutes, but I'm really hoping that comes up a little bit. And, man, just can contribute in a lot of categories. The defensive stats tonight, had 7 assists, has had some pretty good rebounding games this past week. So I'd really hope he can get his scoring up to at least like the 10 early teen area. I might be wishful thinking here and being overly optimistic, but I own him in quite a few places. So I'm just hoping for the best here. Neil, I'm a little bit concerned about Jaren Jackson Jr. I think he earned the starting gig. Nobody thought that the Grizzlies were going to be 10-5 at this point. So it's clear that JJJ is working in this rotation, in this starting unit. I don't think he's going to lose his starting spot, but Neil, his leash just got way shorter. And I think with JaMychal Green back, nights like this where he gets into foul trouble, luckily he gave us a decent line tonight with the 13 points and 3 blocks, but nights where he's only getting like minutes in the high teens, he can put up a really low-end line. So I'm slightly concerned about JJJ. I'm just rolling with him, man. I still think he should be good for the season, and hopefully he gets stronger as the season goes on. But it is somewhat of a buzzkill that JaMychal Green's back. All right, man. Any closing thoughts here, or are you okay with me moving on?
Let's move on.
Minnesota Timberwolves, got to start with Cat, Karl Anthony Towns, 15 points, a block, 20 rebounds, 2 assists, 6 of 10 from the field, 1 of 1 from downtown, perfect 2 of 2 from the line. He had 5 fouls, so it looks like he was in some foul trouble, but still played 38 minutes. Gotta love that. Robert Covington, man, 37 minutes, 15 points, 4 steals, a block, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 threes tonight, shot 5 of 11. I think his value likely is going up since his move from the Timberwolves, just because, man, he is seeing some high minute totals ever since joining this team. Tibbs has to love his defense and his ability to hit some threes out on the wing. I think, man, this guy is locked and loaded for the rest of the year. Andrew Wiggins with 14 points, no defensive stats, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, a 3, 6 of 18 from the field's not great, but it's like a typical Andrew Wiggins line here. Jeff Teague, a little disappointing. The shot wasn't going down for him. Only 1 of 9 for 2 points, a steal, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. As I mentioned, 1 of 9 in 29 minutes. I do like Jeff Teague's outlook for the rest of the season, though. I think he's going to benefit quite a bit with Jimmy Butler not being there. Neil, this is really interesting to see. The power forward spot. Taj Gibson started, but only saw 19 minutes. It looks like maybe Tibbs was trying to ride the hot hand. Dario Saric played 29 minutes, had 14 points, a steal, an assist, 3 rebounds. He had 4 threes. It's an interesting situation, this power forward spot on this team, because kind of feels like Taj and Dario are going to kind of cancel each other out here, or they're going to, one night it's going to be him rolling with Taj for the big minutes, or, tonight it was Dario. So it's an interesting situation to keep an eye on. Derrick Rose, 30 minutes, had 18 points, a steal, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. Having a pretty good season. 2 threes tonight, a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Another guy who's likely benefiting with Jimmy being gone. Think you got to be pretty happy if you drafted Rose. Not too much else here to talk about, Neil. What are your thoughts on the Timberwolves? I know you're kind of bummed on their outlook for tonight.
Yeah, I'm just upset by their continuous shots distribution, with Wiggins getting 18 shots and Towns only getting 10. And they lose by 13. I like to see that flip, not just as a fan, but someone who owns Karl Anthony Towns. I want all the points I can get. So it's a little unfortunate. I agree with you on the Gibson Sarge thing. I don't know how that's going to play out. my gut tells me that Sarge is going to at some point get the better fantasy player. But I would hold on to Gibson still. I wouldn't look too much in this one game, only because the first unit was getting dominated. And so Taj did not play as much, and he went with Sarge, like you said, maybe to try to mix things up and get them back into the game. And I agree with you on Covington. Covington he's number 20 in ACAT over the last week since joining Minnesota. He's 30 overall in terms of per game basis in ACAT, and I think this guy's I was wrong about him, and I think his role is even getting better this year. So I think he's going to finish somewhere between maybe as high as 20, maybe as low as 40, but I can't see it being much worse than that. So he's having he'll have a great rest of the season.
Yeah, it just was a perfect spot for him to land because he just fits the definition of a Tibbs guy because of the defense, can hit outside shots. So we've already seen him play some big minute games, and I just think Tibbs is going to ride him hard, man. In fact, let's hope that Covington can stay healthy because he is in for some major tick, but that should be really good for his stats. All right, Neil, where should we go next, man?
I've got Portland, Washington next on my scoreboard. So I'll go to Portland. They go into Washington to win 119-109. On the Portland side, Lillard had a great game. 40 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 13 of 15 from the line, 3 3-pointers, a steal. McCollum, solid game, 25 points, 7 rebounds, no assists though. Did shoot 9 of 16 from the field, 4 for 4 from the line, 3 3-pointers. Let's see. Nurkic had a solid night, 13 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 of 9 from the free throw line. Love his free throw percent this year. He's in the top 50 because he is actually helping you with free throw percent. Aminu gets a start, played 36 minutes, just 9 points, 8 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. Someone I'm watching, but not looking to pick up just yet in standard leagues. Same with Jacob Layman. Actually, I'm not even watching him, although he starts 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a block, a 3-pointer. Off the bench, Evan Turner, someone I started streaming, 8 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Seems to be working out just okay. He's now starting to get some of that facilitator role in the backup, in the second unit, I should say. 2 of 2 from the line, no 3-pointers. Staus gets 13 minutes. Zach Collins, just 13 minutes. He's starting to fade a bit, 7, 3, and 3. He ended up fouling out, I believe, as well. Yeah, so not much to take away. I would just say if you jumped on Zach Collins, I'd be a little worried. I don't think he's not going to get that many minutes to really be relevant in standard leagues. Deeper leagues, for sure, he can be owned. Evan Turner, I think, should be owned in deeper leagues. He's right now 157. I think he's going to climb a bit. Nurkic, if you own him, God bless you, because he's having a great year. I avoided him this year because I was really worried about his free throw percentage, but he has just turned that around this year. And Aminu, like I said, I'm watching him. He's 117 overall, but I'm a little suspicious about if this gets much better. In years past, I've been more of an Aminu guy, but this year I'm a little down on him. So those are my thoughts on Portland. What do you think, Adrian?
Al-Farouq Aminu, Neil, is so tempting. On Wednesday, this guy had 18 points, shot 7 of 11, hit 4 threes, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. The minutes, he played 34 minutes on Wednesday. Tonight, played 36 minutes tonight. I mean, I got my eye on him, Neil, and I think in some 14-team leagues where I've got some garbage at the end of my roster, I think I might make the move already and just grab him. It's just, there's some nights he's not going to show up, but I just love his ability to give you some threes. He rebounds. Some nights he gives you some defensive stats. So, I think Aminu's worth an ad in some deep leagues, man. All right, I'm going to jump in on the Washington Wizards side, Neil. Going to start with John Wall, 24 points, 3 blocks, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 10 of 21 from the field, 3 of 6 from downtown, 1 of 5 from the line. So hurting you from the free throw line tonight. Actually hurting you too from the field. Shot just okay tonight. Otto Porter Jr., Neil, a guy we mentioned at the beginning of the show. We're hoping he turns around his shaky start. 13 points, a block, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 5 of 8 from the field. He added a 3, 2 of 4 from the line, played 28 minutes, pretty decent there. Bradley Beal with a somewhat disappointing line for his high standards. 12 points, may have been in a little bit of foul trouble. I'm seeing 5 fouls in his line. 1 block, 1 steal, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. Only shot 4 of 13, so the shot wasn't falling here tonight. Did add 2 threes, was a perfect 2 of 2 from the line, so that's pretty good. Keith Morris, really disappointing line tonight, especially with Dwight Howard going out after 7 minutes. So Morris with only 3 points, an assist, 3 rebounds, only shot 1 of 6. He made 1 shot from 3-point range. It's a bad line. We talked about Dwight Howard, Neil, only getting 7 minutes. Let's keep an eye out on what his outlook is. I'm expecting him to miss some games, though. And then, Neil, Kelly Oubre, a guy that we mentioned at the beginning of the show, 19 points, 2 blocks, a steal, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 of 6 from downtown, 3 of 4 from the line, 7 of 14 from the field, played 29 minutes. He could be one of the beneficiaries if Dwight Howard misses time. Jeff Green as well. The shot wasn't falling for him, but also got nice minutes with 25. Took 10 shots, only made 3 of them for 7 points, but did have 13 rebounds tonight, an assist, a steal. So the opportunity could be there for Jeff Green as well. Austin Rivers played 29 minutes, had 8 points, 3 rebounds and assists. This is a real interesting line with Dwight Howard going out. Also, Neil, I'm seeing in my basketball monster box score that they're saying that this was a blowout. So the end score of 119 to 109 might not be really showing justice to how this game looked. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Washington Wizards?
Yeah, this game was one-sided. I did get to kind of track the score in real time, and the second unit got a lot more run because they were making the comeback. You know, sometimes when the first unit is just getting clobbered and the second unit is playing better, those guys just kind of finished the game, and that's what happened here. And so these minutes and stats are a little misleading. Markieff Morris was in foul trouble, had 4 fouls, and only played 19 minutes, not having a good game. But I wouldn't trust it too much. Obviously, you're right, though. Oubre and Green might have streaming viability and maybe more in the absence of Howard's extended absence. So keep a watch on that. But Beal only played 26 minutes. Wall only played he played 31, but Porter only played 28. So these guys had a dip in minutes tonight.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next one. Real quick, I just want to say, looks like for Dwight Howard, it's they're saying gluteal soreness, which I believe has something to do with what he was experiencing at the beginning of the season. So this definitely could be something where we see him miss some time here, and he could definitely see an extended absence here. So let's keep an eye on this situation. All right, man. Where should we go next?
Let's go to Los Angeles, Miami. The Lakers get a nice win on the road, 113-97. LeBron James, 51 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, 19 of 31 from the field, 7 of 10 from the line, 6 3-pointers, 2 steals, and a block. A lot of the other starters not play a lot of minutes tonight. Kuzma just played 21 minutes, 15 1-1 with a 3-pointer and a steal. JaVale McGee, minutes have been slipping a little bit with Tyson Chandler recently. Coming to this team, played 24 minutes tonight, 6, 3, and 2. Took 6 shots, just made 2 of them, but did make both his free throws, so that's nice to see. 2 of 2, 2 steals, but no blocks. Lonzo Ball, 2 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 of 6 shooting. Brandon Ingram, 13, 7, and 1 with a block. Josh Hart off the bench, 5.6 rebounds, 1 assist, and a 3-pointer and a block. Caldwell Pope. This guy is someone who kind of fell off the earth earlier this year. Tonight got 28 minutes, 19 points, 4 rebounds, 8 of 8 from the line, 3 3-pointers, a steal and a block. Tyson Chandler, equal number of minutes as JaVale McGee, 24. Just got 2 points, so 11 rebounds on 1 of 3 shooting and a steal. Lance Stevenson got 15 minutes. Not really much you can say in terms of, well, one, I'm not going to worry about JaVale McGee if you own him. I do in one league. He's still going to put up, I think, my best guess is 12 to 14 points a night with about a half dozen to 8 rebounds and a block or 2. So, or average about 2 blocks a game. So I'm not too worried about him. Lonzo Ball, I am a little worried about. He has fallen down to 126. I thought he could, once Rondo got hurt and his starting position was sort of solidified, I thought he might start to bounce back. And I know he has struggle shooting and also at the free throw line, but I just thought he might take a step up this year in those percentages and also get more points. It just really hasn't happened for him over the last couple of weeks. And same with Josh Hart has kind of fallen off. Getting the second team role, and tonight 29 minutes and just got 5, 6, and 1. So those two guys, if I own them, I probably wouldn't start them wouldn't throw them in the starters lineup just yet. I would still kind of watch them. I don't think I'd drop them yet either. Any thoughts from you on the Lakers?
I'm really disappointed here that we are kind of seeing dip from JaVale McGee ever since Tyson Chandler joined. Second game in a row without a block for McGee. And, one of the most disappointing things is just he's not closing out games. They got Tyson Chandler to end the games. And the Lakers are winning, man. I don't know the exact number, their win streak. I should probably look at this, but they're currently 9-7 and they're winning games. So, just a little disappointing here that JaVale McGee is just. I really wasn't expecting Tyson Chandler to hit JaVale McGee's value, and I still feel like McGee will be okay, but it's definitely not helping that Tyson Chandler's here, man. So that's all I got. And then LeBron James is still the king, man. Unbelievable game for him. Unbelievable.
He is the king. And I got to play him in the DFS tonight. Going back to Miami, I just thought he put on a show, and it worked out for me there.
Nice.
But Adrian, I lost all my money in my DFS, so I'm down to playing free leagues. Dan,
I was listening to the Brewski and the show. I think it was from Friday. Dan mentioned that you and he did pretty poorly. I am looking forward to joining you guys down at the bottom in the next one, because I myself, Neil, am not very good at DFS. So, but hey, man, we got to start somewhere, and we're here to learn, man. So,
exactly.
So, but hey, good call tonight on LeBron James. I mean, I'm sure all the winning lineups tonight had LeBron in them in most DFS contests. So nice call on LBJ tonight. I'm going to switch over to the Heat side, Neil, and I'm going to start at a guy, Neil, that I picked up in a few spots, deep leagues, and I'm actually been pretty happy with Tyler Johnson. 17 points, a steal, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 threes. Now, didn't shoot well tonight, was only 6 to 16 from the field, but Neil, the usage took the most shots out of anyone on this team. The minutes look good. Neil, I'm hearing that Goran Dragic could miss a little bit of time with a knee issue here, and I think Tyler Johnson is a must pickup guy. Neil, I ran to one of our leagues that we play in to pick him up and noticed that you snatched him up in one of the leagues that we play in. So good job, man.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty happy with Tyler Johnson. I was able to grab him in my home league, which is 14 teams. I got him locked and loaded, especially Wade is out right now, I think, for personal issue. And as I mentioned, Dragic could miss some time here with a knee issue. Go get Tyler Johnson. Wayne Ellington, also another guy that could benefit. 19 points and assists, 2 rebounds, 5 threes tonight. We know that Ellington can just really knock them down from downtown. So 5 threes tonight is great. 7 of 14 from the field. Magruder still doing his thing, man. 14 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds. Took 14 shots. Pretty good usage here. 2 threes, 6 of 14 from the field. Still getting minutes, 38 minutes tonight. Pretty decent game from him. Whiteside, this is somewhat of a letdown. 6 points, 7 rebounds. Did have 3 blocks and a steal, which is nice. 2 assists. Only took 9 shots and made 2 of them. So let's hope he turns things around. Justice Winslow, just real up and down guy, and it's down at the moment. 6 points, only made 1 of 5. We know shooting, he really is a bog on your field goal percentage. So not a great guy to be playing, and unless you're in a real deep league. Josh Richardson, 17 points, a steal, a block, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 7 of 11 from the field. Neil, Josh Richardson actually got ejected from this game for throwing a shoe into the crowd. It was pretty crazy. Not too much to talk about on the bench. I do want to mention that James Johnson is back. Only saw limited minutes tonight. 15 minutes, put up 8 points, 2 assists. I think it's going to take him a while to find his footing, get his bearings. He didn't have a preseason. He had a hernia to start the year. But I am wondering if eventually James Johnson can be a factor in this front court. What do you got on the Miami Heat, Neil?
Yeah, like what you said about Justice Winslow. I mean, he's getting minutes, but he's still barely inside the top 200 on a per game basis because of his just stat sets are just not good, including those percentages. I did pick up Tyler Johnson. We'll see how Dragic works out. I think even with Dragic in there, Tyler Johnson is getting a decent run, so I'm going to keep rolling with him for a while. He's the 100th over the last couple of weeks in 8-cat. Wayne Ellington again. Yeah, I think I streamed him for a little bit, then I dropped him. I think he's right on the verge of being owned in 8-cat leagues, especially if you need like a 3-point specialist. He got 5 tonight, as you said. And then the one guy I'm really keeping an eye on is Bam Adebayo. I mean, I think he's the guy. If Whiteside ever gets hurt or he gets traded, or he's going to be sitting out a night, I would stream Adebayo in a second. While I think Olynyk is, it's not someone I want to touch in fantasy right now. So those are my thoughts. Oh yeah, then James Johnson, like you said, we'll see how he works out. I'm not very optimistic about him. I think he might get back into the mid 20 minutes, but I'm not very optimistic about his fantasy outlook. I hope maybe I'll be wrong about that. So right now I'm just kind of staying away. I just think it's a little past his prime, and they've got some other athletic guys I like there, like Magruder and Adebayo. So staying away from him for now, but definitely watching him.
I love your take on Bam Adebayo, Neil. We know that Whiteside's not the consistency of health. We've seen him miss some time. We know he's had issues with the organization, so it wouldn't even surprise me if he got moved at some time during the season. So I love your take on Bam Adebayo, and also agree with you on James Johnson, man. This team is just loaded in the front court. They got Kelly Olynyk as well, who can be a factor. So I mean, definitely, I really think it's going to take a while for James Johnson. I think we're going to see him get limited minutes like he did tonight for quite some time. So definitely don't count on him for fantasy in the near future. All right, man. Where should we go next?
Let's go to New York, Orlando. Orlando wins 131-117. I'll take the Knicks side. One guy I'm watching, Kevin Knox, played 23 minutes tonight, got the start, 4 points, 2 rebounds. Did not shoot well, just 2 of 8. No steals, no blocks. I'm a little suspicious about his fantasy value for this year, so I probably wouldn't go early on him. And he probably get picked up by someone else. Some guy I'm a little more interested in is Alonzo Trier. There's 7 points, 2 rebounds. Just not a good night tonight. I'm more hopeful about him. Still haven't added him. Just 13 minutes, they got blown out as well. Mitchell Robinson, 9 minutes, 2 rebounds, and a steal. Tim Hardaway Jr. had by far the best line. 32 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Took 20 shots, made 9 of them. 9 attempts on the line, 5 3-pointers, 3 steals. Moutier gets a start again at point guard. Played 23 minutes, 12 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. 2 of 4 from the line. No 3-pointers, no steals, no blocks. Canner had a monster night off the bench. 21 points, 19 rebounds, 3 assists, including 5 of 5 from the free throw line and a block. Noah Vonleh played 35 minutes, but just 7, 9, and 1. Someone who I took a speculative add-on earlier and have since parted from. Trey Burke, 29 minutes, but 31 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He also took 20 shots, made 11 of them, including a 3-pointer and 2 steals. Ntilikina got 22 minutes. Damian Dotson, 14 minutes. I am not big on Burke, despite this line. I think he's relegated to the backup role, and I don't think he'll shoot this well normally. Vonleh as well, I'm not big on. Actually, the only guy I'm speculating on, I mean, Mitchell Robinson is probably owned. I would speculate on him and Trier, if I'm pronouncing that right. Those are the 2 guys I'm probably watching most closely in New York. What are your thoughts on the Knicks?
Neil, this team is so frustrating for me. They're one of the most aggravating teams in fantasy for me because it's just a different guy each night in the backcourt. Tonight it was Trey Burke. Tomorrow it'll be Moutier. The next night it'll be Ntilikina. We can't count on anybody. Mitchell Robinson, I picked up in quite a few leagues. I spent some big fab dollars on him, and it is not happening. Luckily, I have the luxury to just kind of stash him on my bench. I still believe there could be some point this season where he puts it together and has some value. But Neil, how do you get 5 fouls in 9 minutes of play? I mean, I don't even understand how that's possible, man. So, we know he's young. He's very raw. He's got a lot to learn. So I'm going to try to chalk this up to just rookie factor here. Is just an awful game from him. Luckily, I'm not really playing him anywhere. And then Knox, I think he's the other guy, as you mentioned, that you can kind of speculate on. It's going to be a rough ride with Knox due to poor shooting and his lack of peripheral stats. But I do hope that there could be some point in the season where he starts to put it together. This is an awful team that should be tanking. So I feel like guys like Knox and Robinson should see some good minutes down later in this season. So, but other than that, man, it's just a real ugly show with the New York Knicks. All right. If you don't have anything else to add, Neil, I'm going to move over to the Orlando Magic.
I do want to tell a quick story.
Yes, please.
Yes, the only thing when you said who gets 5 fouls in 9 minutes. So when I was playing elementary school basketball, one of my teammates, I'm not going to name his name, was a hyperactive kid. He fouled out in the first quarter. So they were 8-minute quarters. But he was a 10-year-old kid. So yeah, I don't know how a professional basketball player gets 5 fouls in 9 minutes. Anyway, that was it.
I got a backup story to your story, Neil. When I was an incoming freshman, I was playing summer ball. Literally, Neil, I'm not even a freshman yet. I was like a kid. I made the junior varsity team at my high school. And I was doing summer camp with the JV team. My very first game, I was a kid. I weighed 120 pounds wet, Neil. And I felt like I was playing basketball with men, these like sophomores and juniors who were much bigger than me. So, Neil, in this summer game, my first summer game ever, it wasn't a standard game, meaning you were allowed like double the fouls. I think I had like 8 or 9 fouls in the first half. And I thought I had fouled out, and the referee kept telling me, oh no, you're okay because we have 12 fouls in summer league. And I'm telling you, man, I was a wreck out there, got my butt kicked. And so, I should be maybe a little more lenient on Mitchell Robinson here because I got a taste of it.
That's a great story. Yeah, go ahead,
anyway,
Orlando. Yep.
Okay, switching over to the Orlando Magic. Gonna start with the big man, Nikola Vucevic, 28 points, 9 assists, 10 rebounds, flirted with the big triple-double here to go along with 2 blocks, perfect 6 of 6 from the line. Vuk has been very underrated and has been really solid this season. Evan Fournier with 19 points, a block, a steal, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 of 10 from the field, 2 threes, 3 of 4 from the line. Great game from him. Also a beautiful game from Aaron Gordon. Shot a really efficient 13 of 17 from the field for 31 points, a steal, 2 assists, a rebound. He added 4 threes tonight. Went 1 of 2 from the field. Pretty nice. Neil, I am streaming DJ Augustine in some deep leagues. It's been working out for me okay. 12 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. He was 2 of 2 from downtown, 4 of 5 from the line. I'll be pretty happy with that kind of line. Neil, we always look at Iwundu because he's a starter. I think we got to stop looking at this guy, man. He does nothing. He does nothing in a starting role. 2 points in 15 minutes. Neil, very happy to see Jonathan Isaac here. 16 points, a block, 2 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, a 3, shot 6 and 9. I've seen this guy dropped in some shallow standard leagues when he went down with his ankle injury. I think he needs to be picked up if he's floating out there. I kept him stashed on my IL spot in quite a few leagues. I think I'm ready to activate him now. Terrence Ross, a guy I'm seeing streamed in a lot of leagues, 10 points, an assist, 4 rebounds, 4 of 13 tonight. So the shot wasn't really falling, but I think it's a really good sign that he still got 13 shots tonight. And then not too much else to talk about here. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Orlando Magic?
Yeah, well, good for you for holding on to Isaac. You and I are big proponents of his future value, and I think you should activate him immediately. This sky's the limit still for him. Great stat sets. 6 of 9 from the field, 3-pointer, 2 steals and a block. He could get 2 steals and 2 blocks in a game with regularity. I like DJ Augustin has worked out for you. I've had some trouble in I'm rolling more with Tyler Johnson in that sort of streaming spot, but I think Augustine, he's in the top 100 in the last 2 weeks in ACAT, so I'm glad you were able to pick him up. But Vucevic is the stalwart on this team, man. If you drafted him, he's now on a per game basis number 12 in ACAT. Phenomenal guy. I don't know if they're going to trade him. This team looks like they're 500. They have a chance to make the playoffs. I thought he might get traded at some point, and he's just looking too good, I think, to trade it right now. So that's really it. And Windu, like you said, not someone we really need to talk about. So.
Neil, Vucevic, when you look at him in 9-cat leagues, jumps up to the first round player rank number 9 in 9-cat leagues. I agree with you, man. They might be thinking of squeaking into the playoffs here, and Mo Bamba just has not looked as ready as we thought. So Vucevic, man, if you drafted him this year, I mean, how can you not be happy with getting first-round value return in 9-cat leagues? You got to be ecstatic, man. So just keep them locked and loaded. All right, man. Is it my turn?
No.
Is it your turn? Okay.
Yeah, last game of the night, Golden State, San Antonio. 104-92 Golden State on a slide here with some injuries. Kevin Durant leaned away, played 37 minutes, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, but just 8 of 25 from the field. Did go 9 of 10 from the line, 1 3-pointer, 2 steals, and a block. Currently at 5 overall in ACAT. Jerebko got the start in replacement of the injured Draymond Green with a toe injury. I'm not sure if that's going to continue any longer. I thought I saw a 2-game absence, which it's been, so I think he may be back next game, but obviously we'll just keep an eye on that. Jerebko got 8 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 of 3 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. No defensive stats. Kevon Looney got to start at center, played 19 minutes, 6.7 rebounds, 2 assists. Still can't trust any center here in Golden State. Klay Thompson having a good night shooting, 25 points, or at least a lot of points, I should say. 11 to 26 shooting, though. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 3-pointers. Iguodala, again, starting tonight over Quinn Cook. He got 4 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Quinn Cook, someone who should be streaming on everyone's team, I think, right now. Overall, he's 180, but since he's had to take over for Steph, he's in the around 85. Tonight, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and this should increase his ranking if that hasn't already updated. And a steal, Damian Jones, 23 minutes, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and assist. Damian Lee, 18 minutes. Sean Livingston got 17 minutes. Jordan Bell, someone who I had hoped for at the beginning of the year, thought maybe might be worth a flyer on, clearly has not been part of this team's rotation this year. Really curious to see how that plays out for his future, but right now not ownable in any size leagues. I think Jerebko is someone I'm doing in DFS whenever Draymond's out. He did okay tonight, but not sure about actually owning in fantasy leagues. And that's really it. Same with Iguodala, another guy not worth owning. It's just, I think, Quinn Cook is worth streaming. Everyone else, you kind of know where they stand. What are your thoughts on Golden State?
Love your take on Quinn Cook, Neil. Doesn't sound like we're going to see Steph Curry in the near future. And I think Quinn Cook, man, love the minutes, love the usage. Took 12 shots tonight in this offense. So I think, yeah, man, I think he's a really good streamer. And I'm slightly worried about this team, Neil. 3-game losing streak. They're definitely having issues with health, with Draymond Green out, Steph Curry out. But so I think in the long term, they're going to be just fine. But just really interesting to note that they're not the dominant Golden State Warriors that we're used to right now. All right, man, I'm going to move over to the other side. The San Antonio Spurs here. Gotta start with LaMarcus Aldridge, who went absolutely bananas tonight. 24 points with 18 rebounds, 2 blocks, shot 10 of 16, 4 of 4 from the line. Beautiful game from Aldridge. DeMar DeRozan just continuing his stellar season with 20 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds. Didn't have a 3 or any defensive stats, which is somewhat of a bummer, but you're pretty happy with this line still. Shot 4 of 6 from the line, 8 of 16 from the field. Rudy Gay, very happy to have him back in this lineup. 19 points, 3 blocks, and assists, 5 rebounds, 6 of 10 from the field, a perfect 3 of 3 from downtown, 4 of 5 from the line. It's a really good game from Rudy Gay. Neil, Derrick White put up a real stinker the other night. I think he had a goose egg point-wise. Tonight, did it again. In 18 minutes, he had 2 points. He only shot 1 of 5, 1 steal, 1 assist, 1 rebounds. I'm seeing him getting dropped in quite a few leagues, and I can understand. I still got to keep my eye on him. I still believe at some point he'll have late-round value. So still someone in deeper leagues I'm clinging on to, but I can understand in shallow and standard leagues if you want to drop him for a hot free agent like, we've been talking about Tyler Johnson. If you want to kind of make a switch like that, I think it's a great move. Bellinelli with a good game off the bench here, 12 points in 25 minutes. Patty Mills played 25 minutes and had 8 points. Forbes had 10 points in 25 minutes. Cunningham's not doing too much. Neil, Pirtle, a guy who you and I thought at the beginning of the season could possibly be worth drafting late. Still not happening from him, but I was able to watch quite a bit of this game. He showed flashes of possibility that he could possibly be the guy in that center spot. So I'm watching him in really deep leagues. In standard leagues, you don't even need to pay attention to Pirtle, but still holding out hope that he can be a late round value guy in some deep leagues. Neil, what are your thoughts on the San Antonio Spurs?
Yeah, let me start with Portal there. Yeah, I wish he was more valuable. Like you said, had a little bit of showed some game tonight. Unfortunately, that front line for Golden State is just not very good. So I'm not really trusting that. I am worried about Derrick White, though. I will say I would take almost any other point guard over him at this point. I don't trust him at all. He wasn't supposed to be the starter this year. Got that because of the injury, unfortunate to whose name I'm blanking on right now. But I think he's going to be a rotation player at best. I mean, I'd rather have DJ Augustine, for example. I'd rather have him, Tyler Johnson, a lot of these sort of like even like Isaiah Cannon. I might rather have. So I would drop him in a heartbeat if you had him. But like you said. LaMarcus Aldridge, I think he's going to bounce back. He's currently, not really coming close to his fantasy draft position. I believe in 8-cat he is somewhere closer to like 75 right now. I'm not sure exactly where he is, but I think he'll bounce back, and his field goal percentage should come up again. He's a good free throw shooter. The only thing he doesn't really get is 3-point shots, so that's still going to be out there. But I think he'll come back into the top 50-ish range at some point. So, that's my thoughts. Anything else you want to add on San Antonio or anything else?
No other thoughts here, man. It's great night of basketball. Really looking forward to this upcoming week, holiday week. So I hope everybody is traveling safe and has a great holiday. But let's dominate our leagues this week as well, Neil. What do you think, man?
I'd love to. I got, I think, 2 wins in my head-to-head leagues, and my home rotisserie league is going okay, so happy there as well. Yeah, just keep it going. When you have Anthony Davis in 2 of your 3 leagues, life is pretty good. That's all I have to say. Yeah. When you win the luck of the draw of the first pick, life is good. So the third pick in my other league too.
Steph Curry was the number 1 player ranked in 9-cat leagues. We have now, with the absence of Steph Curry, I think he's missed 3 games in a row. Anthony Davis has taken over the number 1 spot. I do not think he is going to look back. He has looked so good and so dominant. Neil, you must really be such a happy guy to have him in your fantasy leagues, man.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer to draft him. Not only that, but he's just my favorite player in the league.
Yeah,
just as a fan, I love him.
So great. All right, man. Are we ready to? Should we put a bow on this, or you got any last?
Why don't you take us out? Yeah.
All right, you guys. Thanks again. Please hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Adrian Benjamins. Neil is at Ball with Neil. We love hearing from you guys on Twitter. Hit us up. We're looking forward to the week. We will be back tomorrow. Have a good one, you guys.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.